in the one of the things that you do is you said you have special focus on science, technology, and innovation.
Right.
Now, what are the opportunities available in the region for young people in that specific area?
Yeah, it's an important question, but I also need to indicate one thing. Mm-hmm. People think science, innovation, whatever is a youthful activity. No, it's not. The people making these discoveries are actually not youth. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
These are old people who are, who have spent years developing systems and they discover. Of course, it's more exciting to the youth, and so people always associate it with youth. And the youth are quick to learn things because they are youth. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's the connection. Mm-hmm. But what about the rural youth? They are the majority in the region. The rural youth. Mm-hmm. Are they also participating in science, technology, innovation in the rural areas? They don't have sometimes electricity. They don't have the necessary infrastructure to even be exposed. So you have a gap, right? But of course, the point is made. Yes, for those who are participating in it, what are we doing? What strategies are we actually adopting in making sure that they have access, they are able to apply it and so on. So obviously the
opportunities.
I'm thinking, of course, in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, it's the newest issue. Mm-hmm. We are still trying to position ourselves, in effect, to see how will it affect and so on. So I wouldn't say there's anything there. But for opportunities, more or less, is more linked to how do we use that technology in terms of industrialization. That's where opportunities are. What does it mean for industrialization? What type of technology is there? Whether it's be it digital or whatever technology. What is it, and how can it be applied to ensure that we industrialize? I think that's so. It's in a way a bit. I wish I could have a better answer. And I know if my colleague is going to see this and say, you should have said, because there is an answer. There is an answer somewhere. I just have to get around it in terms of what the region is working on, particularly focusing on youth and opportunities in the science, technology, and innovation. But really, as I said, for now, the focus is, one of the key focuses in identifying centers of excellency. The one that, the key institutions that have really excelled in certain areas. And those are the ones that takes the lead in working with other member states as lead institutes and centers of specialization, which may be academic or whatever they do, that they become the beacon sort of the region. But I know there is some strategy on youth. I would have to share it. I apologize for that, but we can probably just send it. I don't want to start saying things that I'm not very well versed in. Yes, thank you.
All right, and one last question. Gender inclusiveness within industrialization is very crucial.
Yes.
What are the numbers? How much is it a thing in this whole agenda of industrialization within SADC?
Yeah. Well, I mean, where do you start addressing it? Do you go at the top where things are happening, or do you start from to build up your case? And I think this is where it's a battle we are in. If you equalize the opportunities at the lowest level, which is at the educational level, you are not going to struggle at the top, because people would have been exposed to equal opportunities, whether male or female. They decide which career to take. So you are not going to prescribe and say we want more women, because they decide. Mm-hmm. All right? The trouble now, you flip the coin, later on we are seeing there's not much involvement, say, of women in the science space and so on. And what do we do then? Have we done enough to include them? Because some of them might have been excluded because of either the laws or regulations that then were formulated for whatever reasons, maybe for good reasons or whatever. How do we change that? But the numbers, I don't have the exact, but the numbers are not good in terms of either women in decision-making, women in certain portfolios and so on, or certain fields. It's not something that we can really flag out and say, in politics is the easier one. Because you just decide, I know in my home country, Namibia, they decided in parliament, at least for the ruling party, that they are going to adopt one male, one female, one male, one female. That's how they went. But in the job space, it's different. Usually you use merit and so on. But some apply affirmative action to ensure that even if, say, a panel member who happens to be female, or not a panel member, but an interview who happens to be female scores 2 points lower than the highest candidate who is male, then you actually favor just to ensure there's gender representation. But it's a serious concern, of course, in the region, and hence the region has launched the Women in Science and Engineering technology organization WIZETO that I mentioned, to ensure that there's actually really some, that we take this mainstreaming issue very serious and popularize it and say opportunities are actually available to everyone. We hope that can improve, but I don't think there's any country that will say they have really reached certain levels, and so globally, in fact.